So I spent 6 years teaching abroad in Korea. I was teaching English, mostly to elementary kids. So first through sixth grade is how they do it there in Korea. And I just recently came back about a little over 2 months ago now. And so I'm just gonna kind of recap a little bit and see and kind of answer some questions that people have been asking me. The first question that a lot of people ask me is, why did you come back? The main reason I decided to come back was for family. I feel like I've missed out a lot on my family's life. It's been 6 years, so I'm gonna give you guys some context. I am the oldest out of four siblings, so including me, I'm the oldest. So my younger brother just got married recently, and then my youngest brother is about to enter senior year. I think he's a junior now, and so he's gonna enter junior next year. He's gonna be a senior next year. Oh my gosh. And then my youngest sister is already a freshman in high school. So 6 years of life is a lot to miss out on, especially for family, especially for such a big family that I have. And my parents are just getting older, so I want to be there for my parents. Just don't want to miss more on them. So that is the big reason that I came back. But I think there's some part like that isn't the full 100% reason why I came back. I think there's a portion of me that thinks that, or there's a portion of me that felt that if I was there any longer than 6 years, honestly, even like 5 years was kind of pushing it already, then I had to start thinking about like, okay, is Korea gonna be my like forever home, or am I gonna go back? And so I think around the 6th year, I felt that for me personally, that Korea wasn't gonna be my forever home. And as much as I do love Korea, it just couldn't be somewhere where I can live the rest of my life. And so I guess that's the reason why I came. That's another, maybe almost, now that I'm talking about it, maybe like a good 50% of the reason why I came back outside of my family. And I'm still debating if America is my forever home, or at least like Colorado is my forever home. Um, but there is a lot of things that I'm trying to figure out right now. It's been like 2.5 months, and most of the time I've just been trying to catch up with like family and friends, trying to catch up with myself as a person in America versus as myself in Korea. So it's been ups and downs. Let's put it that way. And so the next question that a lot of people ask me is that, are you gonna go back, or do you plan to go back and live there again? I want to go back really badly. But again, there's just too much of life here that I feel like, especially now that I'm back, feel like I've missed out so much on, that I really need to just like establish myself here for a bit, maybe another, I don't know how long. I'm gonna give it like 6 years because I spent 6 years in Korea. But then after that, if it feels like the direction that I'm taking here in America doesn't feel like it's progressing as well as I had wanted to, or progressing as much as it did when I was in Korea, then I think I will take another look on life and be like, okay, maybe I do want to go back to Korea, or maybe actually it's always been on mine when I was living in Korea. I would go and teach English in Japan. So maybe I would go to Japan this time and see how life as is out there. So with that in mind, you know, I want to go back to Korea. I do want to go back just to visit too, like maybe next summer, or during the spring, to see the cherry blossoms again. But I don't know if I'll go back and live there anytime soon. The next question a lot of people like to ask is, so you can speak Korean now, right? And as unfortunate as it is, I cannot speak Korean as well as I should be able to. The thing about language, especially being an English teacher, there is that no matter how immersive you are in that language, um, if it's not something that you are actively seeking on being able to do, it's never gonna happen. I have kids and like my students, well, okay, students in Korea, they start learning English from like, if you're rich, if you have wealthy parents, they start learning from like preschool. Like as soon as they can start walking, they start learning English, and they do that until the 12th grade, and then at college level, they're still learning a higher degree of English. And the I'm gonna say like the percentage of students who don't know English, even at the 12th grade level of like 12 years of learning English, is is huge. Like the I've taught high school once my first 2 years, and they've been learning English for 12 years, and I have kids who can't even say hi, my name is blah 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 blah. They can't even spell that in English. So, and it's not to dog on like to dog it's not to speak badly on them or the education system, because that's like a whole different story. But it's just to say that, like, I guess in a way, excusing myself, sorry, in a way, is to say that, like, if you are not actively seeking to learn or embed that language in your system, into your mind, then you're never gonna be as like fluent as people outside expect or perceive you that you should be. So with that in mind, I do know like basic, very basic Korean. Um, Honestly, I probably know as much Korean as that friend of yours who watches K drama all day and practices. Concerning, I didn't practice, and I was very immersive in it. I did pick up like very basic Korean, especially with my students. I picked up Korean, enough Korean to be like to be commanding my students on how to behave well in class. Like if I needed to tell them to sit down or like line up or like, pay attention in class or something, I could be throwing those out. And outside of that, knowing some very basic, like where is the bathroom, what time is it, giving directions, ordering food and stuff like that. Those are the basic Koreans I know, but outside of that, I can't have like a full conversation in Korean, unfortunately. But after being in Korea for 6 years and coming back to America, I do want to pick it back up, like trying to learn Korean, which is kind of sad because I spent like 6 years in Korea, and I should have had that mentality of wanting to learn and knowing more Korean while I was in Korea. So coming back here is going to be a lot more difficult if I wanted to become more fluent. But we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys updated, hopefully. Um, yeah, on to the next question. So question number 4, what do you miss most about Korea? I'm going to put this maybe in like 2 or 3 ways. So I'm going to say like the tangible things that I miss in Korea are like, I guess, the convenience of Korea itself. You have subways and buses that can take you anywhere on like $1 a day, and they nowadays Korea even has this like new public transportation system card that basically you pay 50,000 won, which probably equates to about 45 US dollars, maybe less US dollars, for one whole month, and you can use the public transportation for free for a full, or not for free, unlimitedly for a whole month. And so I think that's like crazy, because I spend almost like 30, if not $40 for gas within 2 weeks. So you cut your costs for public transportation in half. And if you're touristing Korea, I think it's a very great idea too, even if you only go for 2 weeks, because every time you swipe your card, it can add up a little bit. So having that unlimited pass is so great. Another thing about how Korea is so convenient is that, like, in America, like if you wanted to go to like some hot spot, like either a really famous or a good restaurant or fun place, whatever, you would have to like drive over an hour just to get there. But in Korea, I promise you guys, you can find like similar, if not the same quality of food or whatever you're looking for, like 10 minutes away from you. Korea is just that convenient, and it's also really fast paced. So you never feel like things are not being updated in Korea, if that makes sense. So it feels like life is always happening in Korea. So that's a thing that I do miss, especially in comparison to being back in the States or maybe Colorado. I don't know if feels true for other people in America, but sometimes life can just feel so like in place, like you're just stuck in place. Another thing that I do really miss about Korea is not just like Korea itself, but it's the environment that I was able to have in Korea, like the friends, the lifestyle. I went to Korea not for Korean culture, essentially. If I put it, let me put it that way. Like, of course, I love and enjoy the culture of Korea, but going there, that wasn't the main reason why I moved to Korea initially. I moved to Korea initially because I was feeling really stuck in life, and going out to Korea basically helped me feel very free in life and always had like this kind of ability and opportunity to move forward in terms of who I wanted to be as a person. I think that had to do with one, like the discomfort of always being in a foreign country. And then two, it's just like I was my own person out there. I didn't have to feel like I was being held back or responsible for other things in life. Um, like maybe that's like family or friends or just, you know, this picture of who I'm supposed to be here back home. The ability to be myself as freely as possible really garnered like how and who I wanted to what really allowed me to be happy with the person that I am, the person that I see in the mirror. Let's put it that way. So that's a big thing that I miss about being in Korea. You know, the friends out there that I made, the life that I had out there was just it's for me it was on a different level. I can't say this is true for everyone who's moved out to Korea or moved out to be abroad, but for me it's just it meant a lot. Like I grew so much as a person and really learned I really learned how to love myself. I really like who I am now compared to who I was like 6 years ago. Like there's this quote, like I don't remember, it was on Chris Williamson. One of the guests was like, "I like me. I buy me a beer." And I feel that now. Like I feel that 100% now, having come back from Korea. I think, and that's a thing that I miss. Like I miss that. I wouldn't say that version is gone now, but I do miss that version of myself out there being able to do that. And so I guess that brings me to the question of question 5, like what is the hardest part right now? And that is just like balancing life here, balancing myself here, balancing the friends and family here back in the States. Because and I'm not trying to like call anybody out or say that, you know, one's person life is less than or that I am greater than or whatever. But being in Korea, I felt like I've become such a person that I've really wanted to be. And I've always felt like I can continue to push that boundary to be an even better person, to be an even like, I guess, higher value man. And coming back to like Colorado, it just feels like a lot of people are just stuck. I don't know how to put it any other way than that. Like not everyone, of course, like okay, like the people around my age who I've grown up with and that I've known for a while, it just feels like when had interactions with them in the life around me, it just feels like people are just stuck. Still stuck in like who they are and the I don't know, like the pain that they've had in the past, the trauma that they've had in the past, and that they're still just trying to figure things out, which I mean I am trying to figure things out too, but I don't feel as stuck, I guess, as I guess perceive them to be, because I can't make full assumptions. It's just what I'm able to absorb while having my interactions with them. And for me, it makes it a little bit more difficult because I come back and I kind of want to have this like this intimate connection with everybody again. But if I've guess I've changed so much that it feels a little bit harder to connect with them the same way that I like connected with my friends back in Korea. So balancing that has been kind of hard. Um, it seems like people are getting maybe like a little bit more bitter in life. I mean, I'm 30 now, and not trying to brag or anything, but a lot of people have been asking me like, you look nothing like, you don't look 30. And you can test that to this Korean skincare if you want to, but I think for me it's just like, I don't feel 30. I'm like maybe my soul or something. It's I don't know if this has to test with the fact that like people feel stuck here, but I've never felt stuck. I've never felt like I was growing older. I always felt like I was growing up, growing like, I don't know. I've lost that words, but um yeah, I just so that's just been hard. And then just general life in itself, adjusting back to like American culture, adjusting back to, well, trying to get a job, trying to figure out what job I want to lead now, making sure that I am not coming back from Korea and then amounting to nothing too has been a little bit of a pressure to me. I don't know. And just trying to make sure that I can continue to make my family proud, I guess. I know they will always love me regardless. I guess I want to make sure that them allowing me to be away for so long wasn't like just me messing around and playing like hooky. Oh my God, how old am I? Playing around out in Korea and stuff. I just want to make sure that, it did mean something to me, and I want to make sure that they know that I appreciate them and love them so much for allowing me to have that experience and allowing me to be able to, learn and grow, and become the person I am. And I just want to prove that to them, to my parents, to my family, to my direct family, that it was worth it for them to not see me for 6 years. Okay, I think that is a good place to stop. It's kind of hard having a quote unquote podcast. There's gonna be lots of cuts, I'm sure, without having another person. I haven't done this in a while. Hopefully now that I have a little bit more time, I guess, in America, I can do something with the channel, which I do want to. I said this last time I want to, and then I took like almost a whole year. Okay, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any more questions about my life in Korea or teaching abroad in English in Korea, please post them in the comments. I will try to get back to them, but some questions have become kind of redundant, and I promise you guys that some of the most basic questions can be Googled. So please just Google some basic questions. But if you have more deeper questions or more concerning questions about yourself and being out there in Korea, feel free to comment down below. Give this video a like, thumbs up, subscribe if you want more content. And until next time, thanks for listening. Peace out.